When you close your eyes and listen to the music, what images come to mind? Perhaps a peaceful ocean, fishes, or maybe a reef. And suddenly, a mermaid appears. Without the music, the footage would seem a little bit strange. But when it all comes together, the result is something phenomenal. The music itself was created by Chait, a famous Hollywood composer. Emmy winner and three-time Telly Award-winning composer, Chait has performed worldwide for audiences like Hillary Clinton. Within his career composing, he has written film music for more than 18 movies since 1992. Among them, The Little Man for Showtime won 12 Best Film titles around the world. His song, The Power of One, sung by Donna Summers and produced by David Foster, was a Billboard hit for 8 weeks on the chart. But getting his start in Hollywood was a little bit tricky.
I had met an editor from a film who was working on a film for Sony Pictures, and the composer, who was a very famous composer, Ennio Morricone, but told them that they had to wait 9 months because he was so busy. The director of Sony Pictures was very unhappy with that answer and didn't know what to do. He only wanted Morricone, not anyone else. So the editor actually knew who I was and knew that I could write like a lot of composers, especially Morricone. So he asked me to give him some music that he could dub into the film. And of course this was a little trick, but it was a very good trick because I had music that sounded like Ennio Morricone from the movie The Mission. To the dismay of the director, he listened to the music and said, "But that's why I want Morricone." And my friend who was the editor said, "Well, that actually isn't him. It's somebody I know who's a young composer. I really think you should give him a shot and have a meeting with him." The result is that he hired me. And it was a wonderful way to start my career, but he was still very nervous. The good news is that little film that he hired me on for my first film received an Oscar nomination.
Mark's career has always been associated with some pretty big names in music. When he actually began learning violin and piano, his teacher was Dr. Adolf Halles, South Africa's king of piano. And when it comes to his career, it's not just about film. His work also extends into cartoons, including the massively famous show Pokemon. But behind the scenes and all the great music, there were certainly a few challenges.
Have very vast notes written of every single scene from every nanosecond before it starts. Where does it stop? Where's the next one? How does the one before affect the next one? And then what we do is we take a pivotal scene or the main scene that embodies the emotion, and we find a piece of music that fits it, and we call that the temp score. And when the director's happy with the emotional material that will transport his film,
you must always remember
The director comes in with the producers and they sit and they listen to it and they make many changes and they get, very emotional. The beautiful thing is that when I work with a director at that stage, they usually start crying, every single one of them, because
Mark recently launched Studio Chait in Shanghai in order to contribute to China's film industry. Now, most recently, Mark has been invited by the mayor of Shanghai to write the soundtrack for Shanghai in 2015. Needless to say, we're very curious to see what he'll come up with when Shanghai becomes the inspiration.
one of the reasons why I love Shanghai so much is because it has culture, it has history, it has a through line from the French, the British, the Silk Road. It truly has a unique history. And because it has a unique history, I know that I can create something unique in music. In Shanghai branding, we look at the past of the city, we look at the present, we look at the future trends and where is the city going. And in that piece of music and song that I am going to create next year, it has to embody all of those things in one go. It's all about the research, it's about where we're going, and it's about the tonality of the music. In other words, we have the standard 12-tone scale, and then we have the 5-tone Asian scale, and there will be a great mix of the two that will be on a world stage. And my job is to make it palatable to everybody, so everyone understands this is the song for Shanghai, this is the music for Shanghai, and you clearly understand from the music, from where it comes, where we are, and where we're going.
Composers like Mark Chait have done some phenomenal work. However, they still remain slightly unknown. Most of what they do happens behind the scenes and far from the spotlight. But nevertheless, their contributions to film, television, and music remain substantial. So next time you're watching a movie or you hear a jingle you think is pretty cool, remember there's someone like Mark Chait in the studio making movie magic.